This is why I don't take Orient Express fast, to be completely honest. I don't mind taking Midnight Run relatively fast because that one cycle is very easy. And the Orient Express one cycle is theoretically very easy because when you actually grab the clock, it's not hard to break everything and also get the gold relic. The problem is grabbing the clock because it's like the stupidest fucking placement ever. This is too far forward. Or not. Yeah, Yixter. Along with what Merc has just said, Whitey, it also lets us save Future Frenzy for last, which cuts out a visit to Warpum 6, which is about 17 seconds, I think. But the bigger time save is Tomb Time, where you get the purple gem before you go to Tomb Time because you just do High Time before it. And then it cuts out a visit to Tomb Time. And that's about a minute. At least a minute, I would say. How would we get around Future Frenzy? You can get 20 relics before fighting Engine. Like it's the way they do it in OG, where they just get 20 relics and then go down into Warp 6 to do Future Frenzy. Well, it's slow for us because we can save Future Frenzy for the end. But in OG, they have to do it that way. Is what I'm saying, is that that's a time save we get through Gate Clip. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Marquez. Have I already played Crash Mobile? No, because I don't have an Android. And it's only on Android right now. The way we had to route relics. How would that be slower? I mean, if Gate Clip, like, it's an additional time save that Gate Clip does alongside Tomb Time. I'm not saying that if Tomb Time wasn't a thing, we would still do Gate Clip anyway, because we probably wouldn't. There would be basically no reason to, I feel. It's just an additional perk of Gate Clip because we do it anyway. But, like, if Tomb Time wasn't a thing, I don't think we would do Gate Clip solely for the purpose of Future Frenzy. Like, it's just that because we do the Gate Clip, we can leave Future Frenzy behind. And that just happens to cut out a visit to Warp 6. So it's just an additional time save on top of the Tomb Time stuff we're already saving. Yeah, that armor was pretty good. Only lost 2 seconds throughout all of it. Alright. If I miss a crate in Orient Express, I'm just fucking death abusing. I'm not gonna bother with the one cycle. Because apparently it's just not a green day, as is normally the case.
Get in the slow lane, buddy.
Yo, Trigger, thanks for the raid. Yeah, Twitch has been okay for a few hours, I think. Oh my god. Orange Asphalt is an impossible level. Thanks for good luck. Trying to learn how to speedrun Crash 2? Hell yeah. The Insane Trilogy version of Crash 2? Absolutely. Alright. So I want to lay out a disclaimer because I feel like some people misunderstand this. You will probably hear me shit on Crash 2 NST a lot as if it is like a terrible game. Oh my god, Merkaz. I don't actually think it's bad. And if you want to learn it, then by all means, go for it. I recommend it. But, like, I just personally don't care for it. But I do think it's a good run. So if you ever hear me shitting on Crash 2 NST, don't take it to heart. A lot of it is just banter combined with frustrations of how long I played that game excessively. What don't I like about it? A lot of it is just that I find this a lot more fun. Like, I just enjoy Crash 3 more as a speed game. I feel like Crash 2 is... its baseline difficulty is a lot higher, and it's a lot more frustrating as a result. Even though I think overall this is probably the harder category, I think Crash 2 is the harder game. And also, I speedrun the original Crash 2 and just really adore that speedrun. So while Crash 2 NST is not bad, I don't enjoy it as much as the original Crash 2. But like, I still don't think it's a bad category, or I don't think it's a bad speed game. Hence why I ran it almost religiously for like a year and a half. But yeah. Yeah. I just happen to prefer Crash 3 NST and OG Crash 2, but I don't think NST 2 is bad. Also, I call everything bad. I call this game bad. Even though it's not. This game's amazing. Alright, Marquez, I'll see you soon. Thanks for good luck, man. I love OG Crash 2. What is my PB for 3? In any percent, I have a 41-42, which I think is 8th place. And then in this, I have in 108, I have a 210-41, which is 4th place. But is also only 10 seconds behind 3rd. And would have been 2nd if I didn't mess up the last split. So, rip. You're about to die. Yo, same. Actually, I am pretty tired right now. Crash 2, best Crash. We could debate which of the 3 Crash games is the best one, but at the end of the day, none of them are Crash Twinsanity. So, you know. Crash 2 is my favorite of the original trilogy, like, for sure. Without a doubt. My favorite of the Insane Trilogy is, speed-wise, almost definitely this one. Casual, it's between this and Crash 1. But I would probably still slightly lean towards this casually. None of them are entrants. This is also true, Marquez. Twinsanity is a fantastic game, both casually and speed-wise. Like, it's a very good, albeit unfinished and very flawed, casual game, and it's an absolutely amazing speed game. Like, straight up, probably the best speed game I've ever played. Although this is also a very good speed game, so, you know. It depends on what you're looking for in a speedrun, I guess. I swear to God if you don't land on that. I will probably run Twinsanity at some point in the near future on this channel, Scannerman, so If you stick around, you'll definitely see it at some point. Twin Sanity is a really, really fun speedrun, hobo. It's a very difficult speedrun. Like, it's the hardest speedrun I've ever tried to learn. And, like, even after, like, spending several weeks, like, grinding and, like, learning it, I still do not do a lot of tricks just because they're too difficult for me right now. But it is a very cool run regardless. Thanks for the follow, Scareman. And clearly Murkaz agrees with a lot of people. Yeah, it'd be cool to see if, like, they did, like, PS2 classics or whatever and put Twok and Twins on, like, PS5 or some shit. Be a good way to make money. I feel like a lot of people would buy that. I would buy that. Actually, I don't know if I would just because I have the original, but a lot of people who don't have access to the games would probably buy them. Wow, it's really good I didn't do this one cycle then, because I just can't do it. I can't break crates today. Hitting these baskets used to give you fruit in OG. I don't know why they don't do that in this. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't bother with that. Yeah, I'd be down with new games that, like, drew inspiration from Twok and Twins, but I don't want, like, specific remakes of them. It just depends on the level, really, Nukester. In some of the vehicle levels, it's just faster to get the gem and relic together. Making waves is an example. In making waves for the relic, you have to break most of the crates anyway, so you might as well just get the gem at the same time, because you save a lot of movement by just not getting crates in this level. Just because of how slow the jet ski turns and how wide some of the turns are to get the crates. But because of the time trial gold relic, you have to break most of the crates in the time trial anyway, so it's better to just get them all in the box pass. I think it saves, like, I don't remember how much it saves in Make Waves, but it's significant enough. In Under Pressure, the biggest thing in Under Pressure is just the fact that the vertical movement of the submersible, like the fish thing, is so slow that it takes a good, like, 10 seconds to break all the crates at the bottom at the end of the level and then go up and get the crystal. That it's definitely just faster to get the gem and relic at the same time, because you don't have to detour for the crystal when you do that. Like, you notice if I'm on the submersible in, like, an underwater level, I very rarely move up and down on it just because it's so terrible. You only move that way when you need to. And then, like, the motorcycle, like, Hog Ride and Road Crash are more or less the same way. Where, because of how tight their gold relics are, you will likely have to break most of those time crates anyway. So it's better to just get the gem at the same time. In the case of Road Crash, every single crate becomes a time crate. And then in the case of Hog Ride, you have to break most of them anyway, and you want to carry the turbo in the first visit, because that saves like 5 seconds, so it's just better to get the gem during the relic. And then in both of the Tiger levels and in Orange Asphalt, it doesn't really make a difference when you get the gem, so it's better to just get it during the Crystal Pass to be safe, and then just do the one cycle as a backup if you need to. And then I think Tell No Tales is just too long for the one cycle to be possible, because you have to detour so much for that. Funny thing is that in Crash 2 102, you actually one-cycle bear down for the reason being that on the first visit, you can just, like, when Polar throws you off at the end of the level, you can just immediately turn around and exit into air crash. And then you just get the gem during the time trial when you wouldn't do that, and it saves, like, probably, like, at least 3 seconds. It could be more, actually. And then in Crash 1, you one-cycle any level where you can, just because it overrides the great, but you miss this many boxes screen. Or it overrides the gem screen, rather, which is very long. And the, like, missed crate screen is shorter than most gem cutscenes. Too far behind. It's a little short. They sort of exist, but in a very rough way. So, like, there's something called the power mod. And what it does is that it starts the game with all power-ups unlocked and Coco. But in Crash 2, you only get the running shoes and the double jump, because those are the only ones that are coded into Crash 2. And then in Crash 1, you actually only get the double jump. So it's still really cool in Crash 2 because you start the run with, like, the running shoes and you have double jump, which you don't normally have. How is double jump coded into 2.1? I don't know, they just fucking did it. So there is a bit of a workaround that give you more in Crash 1. Another thing the power mod does is that it has a file that tricks Crash 1 into thinking it's Crash 2. And when you do that, the game does actually let you slide in, like, running shoes and stuff. So there is that, but it has limitations. So you can't enter any bonus rounds because bonus tokens don't exist in Crash 2. So the game doesn't know what to do with them when you collect them. And because there are no crystals in Crash 1, the game never thinks that you finish any levels, so you can't do any time trials either. So you can't do full completion power mod, but you can do any %. And there are runs of that. And it's actually really sick. It's a run that I want to actually do at some point because it's really cool. And I've done power mod Crash 2, which is also really sick. Power mod, I enjoy power mod Crash 2 a lot more than I enjoy, like, regular Crash 2. They're called power mod, and they're on the category extensions for NST. So if you go to the NST board on SRCom and just click category extensions, you'll find power mod. Crash 3 power mod isn't nearly as interesting. Like, you start with all the power-ups, but that's not as good as it sounds. Because, like, when you start with all the power-ups, you automatically have the Death Tornado spin, which means you don't have Hob Slide, which is, you start the game with Mach Tornado, which is, in most of the early levels, actually slower. But I came up with a route that I think is pretty interesting in 108 regardless, so I'll probably run it at some point. It's interesting because you actually do all of Warp 5 at the beginning. And then in any percent, you have the freedom to do the warp rooms in whatever order you want, because you gate clip every warp room and you don't fight. You only fight Cortex. So the only thing you have to keep in mind is you do warp 5 last. But I still don't think it's as interesting as just regular Crash 3. There's no power mod reverse warp order because that's pointless, because in power mod any percent you can just do the warp rooms in whatever order you want anyway. Like, I start my power mod any percent run in warp room 4, and it doesn't make any difference compared to if somebody started it in warp 1, honestly. It's just like I just wanted to get warp 4 out of the way early. Okay. But yeah, Power Mod Crash 1 and Power Mod Crash 2 are both pretty sick. Power Mod Crash 2 has this nice little bug where you can switch between Crash and Coco at like just about any point, even in times when you wouldn't be able to, and you can use that to skip you can skip every single like warp room cutscene in the game. And in the case of 102, you can actually do fast level reentry, which means the route in 102 is a lot more similar to 108 than it is to regular 102, which is part of the reason I really like it, because it feels way less repetitive. Okay. I guess. I don't think there's a mod for that in Youngster now. Yeah, Michael, for some reason, the sword enemies in this game are really fucking obnoxious. Where, like, even if you're in the middle of a slide spin chain, they can just still hurt you if you attack the sword specifically. Which is really annoying at the end of G-Wiz when the last enemy in that level is a sword guy whose sword is pointing directly at you. At least this one was a result of me trying to be cute and kill that enemy because I was just in that direction anyway. So that one was on me. But the G-Wiz one is annoying as hell. Thankfully, the G-Wiz one doesn't matter in 108 because the level immediately after it is Midnight Run and then Hog Ride, so you don't need that mask anyway. But in any percent, it's really infuriating because the level after G-Wiz is Hang 'em High. And on the normal any percent route, you've already done Tomb Time, so there's no backup mask. Now, if you're lucky and you got into Hog Ride instead of Tomb Time, then you do have a backup mask, but it's obnoxious. It's one of the many things that makes any percent really terrifying, honestly. Like, I don't really think there's any point in any percent where it doesn't feel terrifying at this rate. Like, at the point where the category is at. Aside from, like, I guess, like, Orient Express isn't that terrifying. This crate right here in the air is the only reason that invincibility is faster here. If it wasn't for that, it would be better to not get invincibility, I feel. But you have to drop the hop slide really early to get that if you don't have invincibility. What a boneyard. You're most interested in two and top runners in that game, or just it's just Deep. Deep's the only person who's like a massive shitter in that game. Mateus is fine. Like, I know we had issues with Mateus in the past, but he's fine now. But yeah, fuck that Cameron guy. Fucking piece of shit. It's okay, Deep is not a part of the NSD community anymore, never will be, so you don't have to worry about him. Why isn't Cam banned? You won't believe this. Cameron's fucking mod, and I don't know why. Some idiot named Riko gave him mod status. Nice. I love this game. Oh hey, the frog hit it. He who shall not be named doesn't even run the game anymore either. I don't even know who that is. Can't be Deep because we already mentioned him. Was a top runner. If it's a person I think you're thinking of, he's not a problem anymore either. I would say he was never really too much of a problem anyway. Oh wait, yeah, shit, it was that Riko guy. Fuck him. Fucking stupid ass motherfucker. Thinks he's so cool. Oh wait, no, Mike, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, no, you know, I realized, yeah. I was thinking of somebody else, because the person you're thinking of is so far gone from my memory that I honestly forget he even exists until I bring it up. So yeah, but yeah, he's gone too, and fuck him, so. The conclusion being that I am the only normal Crash 2 runner to ever exist. I can't wait for someone to take that out of context and think I'm being serious. G-Wiz is an impossible level, by the way. Would like to remember you guys, remind you guys so that this level is actually straight up fucking impossible. You would like me to remember you two? Who are you? Who are all of you? I don't know any of you guys. Nice, I almost died there again. I don't know. Crash 2 NSC is kind of cool. Just let's not Crash 3. Your name's Cam. No, you ain't. That's very fair, Michael. I never get that, but I always get the one in Orient Express. And then this run, I didn't get the one in Orient Express, but I got that, so... Like you get that, or a CTR as a side project. Understandable. I know what I'll be grinding after I'm done with this, and it's actually probably going to be two things at the same time. Just by circumstance. But I don't have any rough concrete plans for things I want to grind beyond that. Yes, Adri. Have I done the dev times? No, and I could. But honestly, CTR just hurts me too much. Why does Pearl look more yellow than orange? Look, we don't judge based on color, okay? I don't know, it's just brighter. I'm going back to twins eventually, but I can't, I can't do it next month. Next month I have to do OG Crash 2 and Harry Potter. Just because of commitments I have. And they were both on my list anyway for after this, so... I was honestly seriously considering doing 102, even though I don't care for Crash 2 NST. But by the looks of what I saw earlier today, I think Camp's got that covered. So, his problem. I wouldn't say I'm moving on from 108, but I will put it down for a little bit. Just because I need to. Either when I get the time I'm aiming for, or the end of this week. Whichever happens first, I will probably move... I will probably step away from 108 for a little bit. Yeah, all these racers are fucking cheaters. Yo, it's the man himself. Cameron Vengen Z. The Gen Zer. I'm really tired, so I'm sorry for how shitty my jokes are right now. I'm just gonna call you Cameron Vengeance Dicks! Because that's what my screen says right now. Oh god, what have they done to Cam? I just pointed out he's got Gen Z in his name, and now nobody's ever gonna unsee that ever again. Yeah, we're talking mad trash. How that idiot mod Riko gave you, like, mod when you clearly didn't deserve it. Obviously. Riko doesn't deserve it either. He's a fucking narcissistic sociopath asshat. Fucker. Very hostile. Clearly an a-hole. So you guys don't understand that one guy who watched the commentary for AGDQ and then went to my channel and saw me getting annoyed with somebody who was annoying me, clearly concluded from those two instances that that I was an a-hole and very hostile. And clearly he knows me better than I know me, or anybody else knows me. Although those 2 interactions, he's been able to deduce exactly what kind of person I am. I just can't compete with that. I love how I did that for no reason. Wait, did Pete give you mod? I thought I did. I suggested it. It was my idea. I don't even know who we're talking about. Nice dingo dial. It was just some random on like... No. It was just some random on one of my videos from like earlier this week. Just some random YouTube monster. Saw me got like slightly annoyed at a guy who slightly annoyed me. And was like, just, wow, you're very hostile. I came here from the stream where you just like interrupted everybody. You were clearly an a-hole. Cheers. And I was like, okay. Sure. You got it, boss. I love the audacity of like YouTube and like Twitch monsters sometimes. They're like, man, I don't like this guy. Let me tell him that I don't like this guy instead of just ignoring that and going about my day. Oh, I expect nothing less. Or more. Yeah. I mean, why bother sticking around and watching the video and getting to know me when you could just see one interaction and assume that that's my entire character? Life's a lot easier that way, you guys. Like, doesn't that seem like a better way to live? It's so much simpler. You can just assume that everybody who does like something mildly inconvenient is just a fucking asshole and doesn't deserve your respect. Isn't that so much better? Seems better to me. I should do this more. That's a better corner cut, I feel. Dude, I would have never noticed that the bomb's fuses are lit if you hadn't pointed that out, Michael, so fuck you. Like, in the 3 years I've run this game, not once have I noticed that the fuses are lit. Because like, you mentioned that, and I was like, why the fuck would they explode? I haven't touched them. Oh my god. Why do you do this? That feels like it shouldn't have worked, but yet it did. Hello, friend. Thanks. I completely let go of the accelerate button and still ran into that. Isn't that great? Godlike. I don't know what I did that one time that I actually managed to stay in the correct direction after breaking both of those, because I'm just convinced I'm godlike. Play this a little safe because I only got one mask. And now I got none. So, there is one thing I really don't like about the route that I made for Power Mod 108. And it's that this level is immediately followed by the entirety of Hang 'em High. Which means you have to leave it with 2 masks. Which means you have to enter it with 2 masks and then not take damage. And that's fucking disgusting. Also, I realized that when you do both of these levels after Dingo Dial, the first cutscene with Entropy never plays. Which I wouldn't have noticed if not for the fact that I was practicing on a completed 108 file, and I went to Dingo Dial and went to another level, and I got that cutscene. And I was like, why did that play? And someone was like, well, maybe because it didn't play in the normal order. I was like, no, it should have. And then, like, ever since I've noticed, oh my god, it doesn't. So that's a really minor time save that I didn't even know exists. Is, that. Probably saves, like, 1 second at most. You know what Crash 2 speedrunner I really miss? I miss Bullet Hard Tank. That guy was really interesting. He was just such a character. Only the real OGs of NST know who Bullet Hard Tank is. Man came in, got the Hundo record like twice. Had the weirdest bombastic stream personality ever. Was surprisingly a really friendly dude. Like the few times he actually popped up in my stream. And then I beat his time and he just never came back. But man, was he hilarious. Oh my fucking god, my old PC overheating. That's not the olden days. That's like last year, dude. I'm talking about the olden days, like month 1 and 2. The PS4 days. The days where I was on top of Crash 2. Although I usually had to constantly fight for people who like take my crown. They'd be like, I'd be like, I'm the king of NST2, and they'd be like, no, I am the king of NST2, and then give me like a couple of weeks to a month or so, and I'd be like, no, you. That was PS4 NST2. When I thought Crash 2 NST was good. I know, what a time, dude. It's crazy how much changes in 3 years, you know, like game comes out in 60 FPS. I realize Crash 2 is fucking shit. No, the funny thing is that even back then, I still preferred Crash 3. Like, I actually thought Crash 3 was the better speed game. And, like, 108s, or, like, it was 105 back then, but this has always been my favorite category. It's just I played more Crash 2 because nobody else was fucking playing it. Like, there was, like, at least, like, 2 to 3 or more people on Crash 1 or 3 at any given time. Granted, like, 108 largely got ignored, but, like, any percent for Crash 3 was always popping. Crash 1, all of the categories were always popping. Like, Crash 2 was, like, literally just me and whoever was trying to beat me at that moment. And that's, like, the biggest reason I stuck with Crash 2. Otherwise, I probably would have played Crash 3. Although, I will say back then, I really didn't enjoy Crash 3 any percent. I enjoyed Crash 3 any percent when all we had was Mach Tornado, but when we found Hob Sliding, I preferred Crash 2 any. And then the PC release gave Crash 3 any percent gate clip, and that's when I really started to like Crash 3 any. And even then, I don't really like Crash 3 any that much. I just think it's good. Nah, I still would have gotten annoyed at it. The game's just naturally frustrating. I got annoyed at this too. I just like it more. I was annoyed at this yesterday when I died in Tomb Raider for something that really didn't feel like my fault. I just didn't show it because I was also mad at all of you. I probably still showed it. You can hear me just, like, very casually drop the controller onto my desk after I died there. Like, I didn't even just, like, nicely set it down. I just, like, dropped it, and you can hear the... Aliens. Who's ready to die in hot cocoa? I am! Or not. You can just not. Oh, you're thinking of a different clip, Michael, and yes, they did. It's also the second most viewed clip on my entire channel that I kept, because I honestly think the clip's pretty funny. You better ask a good fucking question, Wingo. I could have made that. That's not a question! What is my Chipotle go-to order? A burrito with white rice, chicken, medium salsa, a little bit of sour cream, and cheese. And corn. And sometimes if I'm feeling a little frisky, I'll order chips. And sometimes if I'm feeling really frisky and want to destroy my my bowels, I'll get steak instead. Thanks for good luck, man. Nice. Video game. I have to turn around anyway, so you know. Yeah, but if you do it, Nukester, I have a major, like, incentive to answer. I can always choose not to answer a question if it's not an AMA. If it's an AMA, I will probably actually answer it. Unless it's, like, way too personal. Or it's something I just do not think is appropriate to answer. Oh, this game's easy. Oh my god, Wingo, how many points do you have? What is my favorite dessert? That's actually a hard one because I don't eat dessert that often. Something with ice cream, probably. Like, something with vanilla ice cream will probably be up there, but I don't know for sure. Can I copy the AMA as an excuse to ignore chat? That's fair, Dashy. This is gonna suck. I'm the fucking best at this game, dude. I'm fucking, like, 5 in a row on that shit. If Groovy ever tells you that shit's RNG, you tell him he's damn wrong. Because I have, in the past, like, 5 attempts, I have not missed that. What's my favorite NST category? This one. By a long shot. Like, if you pointed a gun at my head and told me I was only allowed to run one NST category for the rest of my life, I would look at you, laugh, and immediately start playing this. If I could be a character in Crash Bandicoot games, who would you be? I feel like Coco's the weird answer, so probably not Coco. I don't know. I don't know. Personality-wise, probably Coco, but not like gender-wise or anything, because I'm not female. I can probably go for that, honestly. I'm just scared to. And when I go for that, I end up waiting on this anyway, so I don't think it really makes too much of a difference. It would technically be more optimal to break that coral later, but fucking imagine doing that. I'm gonna have to go back for that crate because I'm an idiot and didn't get it. Nice game. I'm holding left. Are you fucking kidding me? This is why that thing is awful. What's replacing the OG any percent run? Nothing until IPB in it. So if somebody wants to redeem it again, go for it. I was actually going to do an offline run while Twitch was down, and then I ended up playing Melee with Hypnoshark instead. I almost died. And yeah, like I can very easily PB in that category, and I didn't hate it, so I just decided to leave it there. Good job, me. Somebody subbed, and I'm gonna very much appreciate them in a second. Yo, look at Michael gifting a sub to Nizzy. What a god. Thanks, man. Didn't even need the mask. What a legend. Might save up to name a split. Hell yeah. Who's ready for the worst level in the game? That one was a gift. Alright, sounds good, Michael. Have a good night. It's very crazy. Nice hob slow though. This level's ass. Oh, we're gonna find out right now. No, we're not. I care too much about my precious 5 seconds if that didn't work. Imagine you could snipe enemies into the crystal like you couldn't walk. Okay. Okay. I didn't lose any time. Because I have to wait on that anyway. That almost lost a lot of time. That's a little behind. I was frequently at a little over 50 yesterday, Nizzy. Yeah. Channel's been bopping recently. I can't wait for it to all die and go away when I switch back to Harry Potter in a week. Why is Warp 3 so hard, dude? I'll also be doing Crash 2 alongside Harry Potter, so hopefully it won't like completely tank, but I'm expecting it to drop when I do Harry Potter. Well, I'm gonna stream because I'm also gonna try and... I'm actually also trying to PB Wingo. I don't think... Since you're doing any percent, I don't think it really matters to you whether or not you PB. But since I'm doing Hundo, I would actually like to PB. Especially because if Whip didn't do it today, he'll probably beat me soon. And then I'll be third. And that's scary. How did I not get hit is the real question. I swear something smells like fucking weed again. I wonder if they got that letter that they're not supposed to do that. It's definitely a pretty interesting speedrun. It's a very chill one. But it still has some cool stuff in it. Also, it's got memes. Thanks, please? No. That damage abuse probably isn't really that worth it if I don't get the snipe. I'll have to go back for that TNT anyway. And it makes me really, like, nervous in this section. See? There's, like, at least 3 times that entire section where I should have gotten hit and I didn't. Jeez, it just starts disappearing by this point. This bonus is so eerily close to the end of the level, but I suppose there are a lot of levels with bonuses like that. Okay. Pencil sharpening simulator speedrun. No thanks. Yeah, that's my fault. That makes me nervous when I don't have the mask. What a way to do that. Alright then. I didn't want to spin either, Crash. I really am glad you didn't get hit there, because that would have made me really sad. That would have been like 16 seconds in entropy, which would have sucked. That was the most forward slide spin I've ever seen.
Coming through.
Thanks for the hosty storm. Thanks for the niz, hosty. I don't think I needed that much information, player, but I hope you're doing okay. Okay. Sounds like it might be some type of like gastroenteritis or something player. It might just pass soon. Like you might have just gotten a bug. I hope you feel better soon, man. Well. Yo, cover. You can play as Coco in most levels. So the only levels where you are restricted from playing as Coco are any vehicle-based levels that were normally only accessible to Crash, and then likewise you can't play as Crash in any of the vehicle levels that were accessible to Coco, with the exception of the planes. Those are playable by both. Nice game. In most cases, it's actually slower to use Coco, though, in this category. She's not slower movement-wise, but there's a trick you do to re-enter levels quicker. We call it fast level re-entry, where as you're jumping out of the level, you input a body slam, and it puts you in front of the portal, and you can enter it before it closes again. And only Crash can do it. Coco has to do a method that's a lot tighter, and is also slower, so it's better in most cases to use Crash. But in this part of the run, you don't do any level re-entries in levels that you can play as Crash in, so you can get away with playing Coco here, so I just do. She also has one animation that is like I think a third of a second slower than any other animation in the game when she throws an item up. So she's slower in that sense because of RNG also, but that's pretty insignificant in this category. Like, it adds up a lot in any percent, but it doesn't really matter in 108. And it was neither of those animations. Is it 0.7? I thought it was just 1/3. Alright, so it's 2/3 of a second. Yeah, that only really matters in any percent, though. I'm just gonna let this guy do his thing. Hot. Wow. I actually thought I was gonna get hit there. Yeah. This level is surprisingly scary, because even though it's, like, not a hard level, like, it's really hard to die in, you also don't want to get hit in it at all. Because the level after it's Hang'em High, which you need 2 masks for. Yeah, that animation is the slow one. Alright, sounds good, player. Thanks for the good luck, and I hope you feel better, man. I don't even know why I did that. Really don't need that ramp. And we don't need that, because I don't want to die to a bird. It's a hot, like, 30 seconds of time loss to die to that bird. Oh, we're just taking this really slow, then. All the cycles are wrong. Swear to God, someone is fucking weeding it up. Like, I can smell it. Someone is getting high. And it's great because we got a letter in the mail today from, like, the, like, leasing department saying, hey, you're not supposed to do this, so whoever's doing that, stop doing this, and they're still doing it. Oh, wow. I'm godlike. Big weed. Yeah, I don't have that emote in my channel for obvious reasons. But yeah, big weed. That was underwhelming. Yeah, the smell of weed is not one that I'm particularly fond of. It's too strong. Yeah, it definitely lingers also. You need to sleep if you don't feel tired. I'm becoming less tired as this run goes on, but I will probably just try to sleep when I'm done. 10 out of 10. Guess I'll keep organizing your Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm sitting here deciding whether or not I need to bite, whether or not I'm gonna bite the bullet on Lightning Storm. That was a hot spin though. I feel like the better investment would be Lightning Storm over Magician's Souls, but it's also the bigger investment by, like, if you get a playset, it's like an extra $90, so I getcha. I think I dislike the smell of weed more, but obviously, like, tobacco, like, cigarettes are worse for you. Like, I would rather smell weed for the sake of the person doing the smoking. I don't particularly care for either smell, honestly. Oh, so there's that too. Does it require souls? I didn't even know that. I don't know jack shit about that deck, honestly. Aside from the fact that there's a big zombie dude and it does back row. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the FGC of the card game world. Why? As a reminder, my association with the FGC is limited to Smash, which isn't even the FGC, so... Magic is the top card game in the U.S., but in terms of overall sales, Yu-Gi-Oh is the top card game. Actually, no, I think at this point it's Pokemon, but it used to be Yu-Gi-Oh because like Japan, but I think Pokemon overtook it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Pokemon's just a bigger franchise is the thing. Like, it's a bigger brand name. Dude, I'm godlike. What the fuck was that? Try again. Now, I remember there's this one fucking asshat I knew who was like the biggest like Magic the Gathering head. And when he argued that Yu-Gi-Oh was gonna die and Pokemon was already dead, I was like, Pokemon's still going strong. And this was like several years ago. He was like, Pokemon's really strong. I was like, Pokemon's still going strong, and Yu-Gi-Oh's the top-selling card game of all time. It's not going anywhere. And he was like, oh, sorry, Magic's the top-selling game of all time. It's just facts. I was like, Yu-Gi-Oh's in the Guinness World Record book of top-selling games of all time. And then like his fucking brother butted in, and he was like, you know, I think the only reason they have that is because Magic doesn't publish their stats. And I was like, sucks to fucking suck, I guess. Also, that is why you don't mock Tornado on oil, because it doesn't give you any speed. Not necessarily zombies. Some Magic the Gathering cards are pretty fucking cheap, so it could just be like 25 mountains or 25 million mountains, and that's probably not worth millions. Well, actually, no. If it's 25 million mountains, it might be worth like 1 million. Also, it's more likely that he accrued it over time and didn't get it all at once. $20 per 1,000 of bulk. Fucking imagine. He'd possibly have some rare stuff. Yeah, I mean, again, it depends on what's in there. If he's got, like, the Power 9 in there, then hell yeah, he probably is, like, really fucking loaded. Or lucky. Yeah, that's a pretty expensive Pokemon card. Yep. I think to this day, the really old Magic card that still fascinates me the most is Charizard. Fucking sub-game of Magic the Gathering. I guess that's how we're doing that. I hadn't flooded the movement at the very end, that would have golded. Who's ready for the run today? I'm a cycle behind now. I need to stop going for that. How did that not fucking kill me is the real question. In any other situation, if you land on the second step, you die. So I don't understand how I lived there. I've tried a lot of, like, TCGs, but the only one that's ever, like, truly captivated me is Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably because it was, like, the first one I played, and I just love the anime. I've tried Magic and I've tried Pokemon, but they just don't hold me. I think I would be interested in them for the fact that I'm already too invested into Yu-Gi-Oh! So I just don't have the time to invest in another TCG. Oh, I love it. That's my best phase 1. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is easy to learn, but it's really, really hard to master. It's very complex at, like, high level. Yo, thanks for not being shit. People have always done the most efficient stuff, Zombie. The notion that Yu-Gi-Oh! Used to be more creative than it is now is a myth. The most popular decks at tournaments have always been like the cookie cutter ones that are tried and true strategies. I just like the anime for nostalgia, if I'm being completely honest, and just, I don't know, I just like it. It doesn't have to be like a AAA, like 10 out of 10 anime, I just enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! I also just like the way they weave like all the magic and shit into the games, and like all the like occultist-ish stuff. It's a pretty interesting take on things. I actually really need that balloon, so... Yeah, people complain about like the current Yu-Gi-Oh decks just being a bunch of like archetype-based strategies that are like meta dominant. But like if you go back to like early 2000s Yu-Gi-Oh, every deck had the same like 25 to 30 cards, and then like the tech choices were like the differences because there were so many cards that were just so unbelievably good that you had to play them. So Yu-Gi-Oh's never been creative if you think of it like that. The creativity lies in like the way people change up strategies by innovating and adding new tech choices, and that has always been the creativity of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's never been by making a completely unique deck all your own, because that's just realistically not possible in a competitive environment. The competitive strategies are competitive for a reason. They work. I mean, it'd be cool if that's how it works, but that's not how any competitive game works ever. Even fighting games aren't like that. Like, there's a reason there's tier lists in like every competitive game. That was never a thing in the game, Senpai. That was always... you always had to tribute monsters in the game. Oh, well, that was pointless. Please don't get monkeyed. I'll be sad if I get monkeyed. I got monkeyed. Got monkeyed. I low-key really hate this one cycle. Like, it's not a hard one cycle, but like getting optimal cycles is really fucking annoying. Alright, see ya, Isaac. Yo, that's the kind of snipe I like to see. That doesn't mean they're not important. That means they're not everything, zombie. Tiers not mattering is low-level mentality. Like, that's not me trying to be mean, that's me being honest. Tiers will always matter, because if you play the better character, you automatically have a better chance to win, assuming you're at equal skill level with your opponent. Now, that being said, if you are better than your opponent and you outplay them, then yes, you can win with a low-tier character. That doesn't mean tiers aren't important. It just means that they aren't the sole defining factor of what wins. That's not what you said the first time, zombie. Like, it's not. You said that tiers aren't that important. They are. They are not the only thing that matters, but they do matter. And they are important. Nice smock. This is the part that scares me the most. Just this entire section. Everything from like here to the end just is worrisome. And it always will be just because of the last thing in the run. Alright, thanks for the good luck, man. I guess. I didn't die. I'll take it. Oh my god. Imagine Tomb Raider at night. Ugh. If you ask Ard really nicely, he'll probably do it for you, Nizzy. God, it's like fucking 3 seconds, dude. And he's an NST modder, so, probably NST. His Twitter handle is CogMonkey, but he goes by Ard.
Crash.
Gross. Okay. Fuck it. Should have done that earlier. Probably gonna lose a little time in this level because the movement's a little weak. I'm a horse. Okay. Please no crash. I'm so lucky. Hello? That was weird. Okay. A little gross opening. That will never not give me a heart attack. Oh my god. I didn't crash, but the run's not over. Nice nitro RNG. Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking blessed, dude. And that's still with shaky movement. God damn. That was terrifying. Yeah, the ending section is really, really scary, honestly. No matter how many masks I enter it with, it's really, really terrifying. Okay, I'll work with this. Nice, Nixter. Like I said. Yeah, I'm always golding it because I always bring it down a little bit. It's a hard level to do optimally because there's so much shit going on. Okay. Most of the scariest stuff is behind us, but we still have Future Frenzy and Bug Light. Okay. Not my best, but it was decent. Does. Honestly, part of that time was probably messing up the mock. This is annoyingly bad. For a second, I wasn't sure if I was in first place, and I got really concerned. Alright, sorry guys, I'm minimizing OBS so I can't see it. I just don't want to be distracted by chat. Gross. Okay. What a way to lose a mask. I ain't risking shit. Comes down to this and Bug Light. That's not bad. That is also not bad. One more thing. Alright, I can do this. Oh no. Oh god. Blue gem, please. Thank god. Alright, I'm about on pace. That's a little gross movement. This should still be good. Thank God. I am atheist. Oh, thank Jesus fucking Christ. I am so about to puke, dude. Oh, fuck you, Coco. Oh, come on. I hate you so much. Oh. I'll be right back. One month. 1 month was all I needed of grinding this category to push past the goal I had. Because my goal was 209. I know I can push this more. Because, like, look at how behind I was for, like, the entire early game. Like, I can still push this down more. Definitely. And I lost almost 3 minutes. Just in movement, but I'm happy with that. And I'm willing to leave it like that for now. Even if, like, Potty or Gruy comes and beats it. Even if Murkaz comes and beats it. Like, that's what I wanted. So, I will come back to this eventually, but I think I've earned a break from this category. especially because I need to do other things for this month.